Hello, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal. Today stands before you with a very important approach of public administration, that is ecological approach of Fred Regis. Ecological approach of Fred Regis. In public administration, Fred Regis ecological approach is a very leading approach, and this approach is otherwise known as Rixian model. So we'll discuss in this video mainly Fred Rix or Rixian model relating to ecological approach in public administration. And I think this video will be very much useful to +3 students and post-graduation students and those students who are busy for competitive examinations. So we'll discuss what is Fred Regis ecological approach. Fred Regis was born in China in 1917. Fred Regis was born in China in 1917 and he worked as a professor in the University of Howard in America up to 1967, and up to 1970 he worked as a chairman of comparative public administration, and the approach of Fred Regis has become popular by scholars like John M. Gauss, Robert Dahl, and Resco Martin. Fred Regis is famous for his ecological approach. Now discuss what this approach is. According to Fred Regis, just as every person has an environment around him, and if he will be capable to adjust with the environment around him, he can survive. And if he will be unable to cope up, to adjust with the environment around him, if he will be unable to cope up with the environment around him, he cannot survive. So, for a human being, an environment is very much essential. In a similar manner, whenever an administrative system will have to be provided or will have to be made in a particular area, the environment of the area must be taken into account. Because in our society there are different areas and each area is different from one another on the political ground, cultural ground, religion ground and social ground. So by taking all these factors administration must be prepared. Otherwise, administration will become ineffective. And Frederick has told that for different areas, different administration setup must be provided. In this context, he has given two models on the basis of which administration will have to be prepared. The first model is model for administrative system in developing countries. This is the first model. Model for administrative system in developing countries. And number two, another model is fuse prismatic defected model. The first model is model for administrative system in developing countries or developing societies. What this model is? Fred Regis has told that in the developing countries, mainly two types of professions are found. One is agricultural profession or agrarian. Other one is industrial. It means in developing countries mainly two types of professions are observed. One is agrarian or agriculture, other one is the industrial. He points out that for agricultural area, a different type of administration must be provided, and for industrial area, a different type of administration must be provided. He speaks that in those areas, agriculture is a main profession. In that area, backwardness is found, different classes are found, then professional system is not developed. In that condition, a different type of administration system should be provided. Again, in developing countries, in those areas, industrial work is the profession. In that area, all classes are economically better off. Professional system is developed. In that area, a different type of administration system should be provided. So, on the basis of this model, he speaks that before the formulation of the administrative system, its ecology, its environment must be taken care of. Otherwise, administration will become ineffective. And in another model, he speaks that model is known as fuse prismatic defected model. He speaks that in different societies, opposing elements are found. In different societies, opposing elements are found. And before administrative system will be provided, that opposing elements must be taken care of. For example, in an area, there is a rural life. And with the lapse of time, the impact of modernization will be on them. It is known as prismatic. So, in a society where opposing elements are found, administrative system should also be provided like that. And in this model, he speaks about three types of opposing elements. Number one is heterogeneity, number two is formalism, and number three is overlapping. He points out that in some society there is the backwardness, and in the backwardness, the impact of modernization will be on them. These two will be opposing elements. So, whenever in any area there will be backwardness and there will be impact of modernization on them, it is heterogeneous things, two opposite things. So, administration must be prepared in that way. And number two, formalism. Here also two opposite elements are observed. For example, in a society, in a government, there are some rules and regulations. But in realities, rules and regulations are not followed. In pen and paper, there are rules and regulations. But in actual life, rules and regulations are not followed. In that case, the administration will be of different type. In a similar manner, overlapping. In a similar manner, overlapping. It is also a category where opposing elements are found. For example, in a society, traditional life is found. But when there will be impacts of modern life on the traditional life is not prepared to accept the modernity. Here there will be opposite things and here there will be overlapping. So, in the fused prismatic defected model, we have discussed opposing elements in three spheres. First of all, heterogeneity. It means in a society where opposing elements are found, like whenever there will be a rural life, the impact of modernization will be on them. So there will be a rural life and there will be a modern life, there will be interaction. Number two, formalism. Here there will be a gap between rules and regulation and realities. Rules and regulations are found, but in real life it is not followed. It is another type of opposing elements. Number three, overlapping. If in a society traditional life is found, but traditional life is not prepared to adapt, to accept modern life. So, Fred Regis, in his ecological approach, points out that whenever an administrative system will be prepared, the environment must be taken care of. If environment will not be taken care of, then there may be administrative system, but it will serve no purpose. So, in this model, we are clear how environment has its impacts on the administrative system. So, I am sure that my students will enjoy this video. By observing this video, I am sure that they will be clear about Fred Regis or Rixian model relating to ecology. Thank you, viewers. Again we will be here with another video. Till now, goodbye to all.